I can definitely say that I have felt imposter syndrome, like, just feeling like I'm not really part of the club, or like feeling like really different from everyone else. Especially like being part of the track team, like it was really, like Leslie said, like college is, not only is it small, it's very much predominantly white. So I was one of one of 2 people of color of the 15 of the senior class on the women's team. So like, that's a lot. I feel like that's a lot. I mean, there's 13 of the 15 girls were white, and I just, there were times where I feel like they're like, oh yeah, like, just little things like, oh yeah, like, oh, my lake house, oh this, like, oh, like, like I don't have to walk down, like, I don't have to walk down the street to do laundry. I have a laundry machine in my house, and I'm like, I live in a house, like, and all these things are like, oh, like, I live in an apartment, I have to walk down the street to do my laundry. I don't have a lake house. Yeah, like, I never even traveled until the football team. I worked with the football team and actually traveled to Chicago on a plane for the first time. I really didn't get the opportunities to do that at home because either I couldn't afford it or I just didn't have the time to. And like everyone that asked me was like, oh, like, you've never been on a plane? I'm like, no, like, I've never done anything. And I always felt like behind, or like I felt like not that I didn't fit in, but I always felt like I needed to do more to, like, not impress everyone, but to just be part of the group, because it was like I feel like I didn't have as much as everyone else had. And I feel like I kind of played it off, and it's easy for me to, like, pass as white too, I would say, considering I have light skin, obviously dark hair, but everyone was like, oh, like you're Hispanic, and I'm like, okay, like I like that's what I'm saying, like, whoa. Like it was either like, oh, like, I don't have this, or like, oh, you're actually, like, Latina. So it was very, very different. I feel like being part of it, because it was like I fit in, but I didn't at the same time. So
yeah. I agree, like, especially in my extracurriculars, like, I am the only Latina in that club. The rest of them are predominantly white and Asian. And I realized that a lot of my work that I was putting into the club was getting overlooked, or just kind of like not given credit for. So I had to do a lot of things, like, not sharing the similar growing up experiences that they did, or if I did, then, like, how did you afford that? Like, why is that a question? So it was kind of like, I don't know, just random little things, especially with, like, financial stuff, like, oh, how are you going to the school, or like, how do you have this? But it's like, don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. And I also would have professors who would, like, like, mistaken my name of the 2 other Latinas in the same class. So it was kind of like having to always, like, use your voice for something, even though I felt uncomfortable too, because I felt like, sometimes, like, you may feel as big, but, like, when that happens to you, kind of like, what do I say? Am I being too much? Am I being dramatic? But I think that throughout my experience then, it kind of just made me more stronger. Like, I kind of don't take a lot of those things anymore. I know how to use my words in, like, a respectful manner, but also defending myself. And I think that I've also tried to, like, realize that those spaces are not giving me what I thought they would give me, then just create my own.
Amen.
So I think it's kind of hard to do that at Cornell, but, like, I found really good friends and really good advisors to kind of help me do that my senior year now. So we'll see how it goes.
So I believe within our SPM program, like, there's probably, like, I would say 10 to 15 people of color within that program. So like you said, with your women's track team, like, the numbers are really slim. I would say as people of color, like, we've always been raised on the fact that we have to work twice as hard than other people, and I think that is true, but also to, like, a certain extent. I would say as long as you know, like, the back of your mind, that you're putting, like, 100% effort into everything that you do, whether it be like school wise or outside through clubs, networking, or like anything else that anything else that you may be doing. As long as you're I'd say as long as you're being like the best advocate for yourself, I'd say it's the biggest thing.